What is up, guys? It's Merrick here with Tech Brothers. Holy crap. I hope you guys are excited about this conference as we were. Let's get into it. Many of you guys might already know what this conference that Apple just held was about. Some of you guys might not. So we're just going to go over a quick recap of everything that Apple kind of announced at this press conference, mainly dealing with the new iteration to the iPhone. Now, we've got two versions of this next iPhone. One will be called the iPhone 6, and the next will be called the iPhone 6 Plus. Now, what's the difference between these two, you might be asking? Well, the iPhone 6 is a 4.7-inch diagonal screen, and the iPhone 6 Plus is 5.5 inches. Now, the two screens are the same screen except for pixel density. Now, the 4.7-inch or the iPhone 6 comes in at around 326 pixels per inch, what they call Retina display. And then the 5.5-inch is our first 1080p display by Apple. This comes in at about 401 pixels per inch. Now, you guys might be thinking, well, why would I want a big phone like that? 5.5 inches, that seems a little bit absurd. I don't need something that big. It might not fit in smaller people's hands. Well, Apple kind of has battled this with a new landscape mode, which allows the apps to rotate and look differently in landscape mode. So this is a nice feature that they've added to help with the size of the screen. Now, there is quite a few differences in cosmetics between the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 6. Now, the iPhone 6, the smaller screen, comes in at about 6.9 millimeters versus 7.1 millimeters of the 6 Plus. Now, compare this to the iPhone 5S, which comes in at about 7.6 or 7.9, I believe. It's a tad bit thinner, and it definitely sports a more rounded design, aluminum casing on the back, and I don't know, it looks very nice. We'll have to definitely check this out when we actually get it in our hands, but overall we're pretty pleased with the new design of the new phones. Also, we've got a major improvement in hardware. Apple always does this with each of their upgrades in phones. Both phones are sporting the new A8 dual-core 64-bit platform processor, which we are told we can see about 25% increase in performance in the CPU and 50% increase in the GPU performance. Now, all these numbers are based on what Apple gave us today at the press conference. We'll definitely have to test this out for ourselves versus the iPhone 5S, but normally they're pretty accurate on these numbers, so we're pretty excited about the new games and stuff that we'll be able to play on these bigger screens. One of the big things we yelled at Apple for was better battery life. We wanted that phone with great battery life. Now, both these phones increase in battery life versus their older brother, the iPhone 5S. Now, the 4.7-inch version, the iPhone 6, will have a little less good battery life than the 6 Plus. Apple's given us numbers about how much talk time and how much game time and how much surfing the web and all this good stuff, but we don't want to give you guys any sure numbers yet because we haven't tested it out for ourselves, but it's looking like the new 5.5-inch displayed iPhone will definitely be a pretty killer in the battery life. We've also got a new feature called Wi-Fi Calling, which is basically like iMessage, but just for calling. You can call people on a Wi-Fi signal, and then when you walk out of that Wi-Fi signal, it'll automatically switch between cell service and your Wi-Fi. Apple touts this to be a pretty smooth transition, no hiccups, you won't notice anything different. We trust them on this, but we'll definitely have to take a look at this for ourselves because it's a pretty unique feature, and I don't think anyone else has done this in a phone to date. So we're looking forward to that. It's also sporting 802.11ac, which is the new Wi-Fi standard across the board. We've got the same 8-megapixel camera. It's not the same, but we see small improvements. We haven't used the camera ourselves. I don't think it's going to blow you out of your mind, crazy better camera that they put on this device. It has phase detection autofocus, which should help in low light situations and grabbing focus for quick moving subjects. We've also got 240 FPS frame rate for the video, which is pretty awesome. We'll be able to get some crazy slow motion videos, which we're pretty excited about. But we'll just have to test this camera out for ourselves and see what it looks like. Both these phones will come with Apple's genuine leather cases and silicone cases, coming in a wide variety of colors. We don't know how good they are, but we've been pretty pleased with their cases in the past. They fit the device so seamlessly, and they just know how to make cases for their devices. So we'll probably be picking up one of these and giving it a review. So we're pretty excited about that. We don't know the price point on those quite yet, so stay tuned for that. Also, you guys might be wondering what this phone comes in as price. And as you guys might know before, they come in at normally the same price as what the previous iteration started out at. So the iPhone 6 will come in at 16 gigabytes at $199, and then it will jump up to 64 gigabytes at $299, and then 128 gigs at $399. Now, the 6 Plus is a little different. It starts at $299 for the 16, and then 64 is $399, 128 is $499. So there's a pretty big price difference between the two, $100. This price difference will definitely be up to you guys, whether you want to spend the extra or you even want the bigger screen. So those are the price points. One of the big features they talked about, and I'm going to end with this one, is the new NFC capabilities, or what they like to call Apple Pay. Now, this is just an application or feature that they designed to help keep you safe and make it easier to pay for things online and in store. Basically, it stores your credit cards on your mobile device, so you don't have to have these things with you, all the numbers exposed, your CVCs, your name, all that good stuff, so all your personal information. So we'll definitely have to see how many companies jump on. It looked like a pretty extensive list that has already agreed to help implement this new Apple Pay system, so we're pretty excited about that. Overall, it was a great conference. We're pretty excited about all the stuff that was announced, especially the new iWatch. We'll have a new different video for that. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. We just want to give you guys a heads up of what they announced. Until next time, well, yeah, until next time.